Welcome back. Former Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels has been the president of Purdue University for almost 10 years now. But earlier this year, he announced that he would be retiring at the beginning of 2023. And joining us tonight for our Unfiltered segment is the outgoing president of Purdue University, Mitch Daniels. Mr. Daniels, good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Phil.
So looking back on your 10 years at Purdue, what are some of your biggest achievements, in your opinion?
I usually try to leave the report card to others, Phil. I'll answer by saying those things that I think we here at Purdue feel best about. Obviously, we've worked hard on affordability. It's less expensive and unadjusted, that is nominal dollars, to attend Purdue now than it was in 2012. We don't think there's another college or university in the country that can come close to that, making that statement. And consequently, student debt has dropped dramatically. The percentage of students leaving with zero debt has climbed into the 70s. That's certainly something that I think every Boilermaker feels very gratified about. We've grown a lot, and we thought that was our mission too. We're 30% bigger than we were 10 years ago, turning out more talent than ever, attracting higher and higher quality students, and in particular, something I really wanted to see us do, contributing more science and technology, engineering students to the Indiana economy. 10 years ago, 41% of Purdue students studied a STEM discipline. Today, it's approaching 70%. So I guess the last thing I'll mention, and I could go on, but I came here having spent 8 years doing everything we could to build the Indiana economy, make us a place of greater promise and prosperity. And I thought that in this world, this information economy we live in, a university like this is the best asset a state can have, a high-tech, research-based university. And I do think we've had a lot of success being an economic engine ourselves. Yeah. There are a lot of companies now around the Purdue campus who came here because of us, brought a lot of jobs and investment to a lot of Hoosiers. So all those things will be very positive memories.
And we highlight those every night here on Wish TV. What were some of the challenges coming in that maybe was eye-opening to you going into higher education that you didn't know beforehand?
I think my eyes were open a little bit. Remember what I'd been doing for 10 years, really, traveling this state constantly, staying in the homes of Hoosiers, meeting as many people face-to-face as a person could. And when I arrived, I released a letter really on my first day on the job, and I itemized some of the challenges that I thought not just Purdue, but all of higher ed was facing. People were saying, is there value there? Is it really worth what these colleges are charging? Are the students learning anything meaningful? If my son or daughter goes to your school, will they come out with tools for life that are really useful to them? And also, is it a place of genuine freedom to think and inquire and speak one's mind, or will conformity be enforced on my child? So I think Purdue was already different in that respect, but we've tried to preserve and even extend those differences. Those challenges that I just mentioned were visible 10 years ago. If anything, they're heard more loudly today.
Tonight, you're hosting your former boss, former President George W. Bush, for a forum on campus. What can we expect to hear from the former president?
We'll all find out together. I'm going to ask him questions that invite him to talk about everything from his personal life as a former president to the some of the issues that he came to office to deal with before events, 9/11, the economic crash that came much later, intervened. But he's a very spontaneous and open and personable fellow, and I don't doubt that we'll have a couple laughs and that we'll get into subjects that I didn't foresee in advance.
Speaking of politics, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you about this, there's been a lot of talk about you possibly getting into the political world. I've even had some political insiders tell us on our political show that you might even make a run for the Senate. Any truth to that?
Well, you're doing your job, and now I'll do mine by ducking shamelessly, Phil. You know, I have on the day I said yes to this job, and I still had 6 months to go in the last job, I said out of respect for Purdue's public institution status that I would steer clear of any partisan activity or statements, and I'm going to keep to that for the certainly for the last whatever it is three or so weeks. Any thoughts like that, if I ever have them, we'll have to wait for next month.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, Purdue has been in the headlines, though, a lot this week when it comes to sports and football. A lot of speculation about the future of Coach Brahm. Anything you want to maybe tell us about that tonight?
I'm just holding my breath. I think Jeff Brahm is one of the best coaches in America. He's a high character person, and that really matters to us here at Purdue. You know, we really love the whole Brahm family. My hope is that he'll be coaching here next fall, but don't have any special insight to offer you.
Well, to that point, though, over the past 10 years, Purdue has really come along when it comes to athletics. How proud are you about that?
Oh, it's not all that new. Purdue's got a great history, but you're right. We come up a lot at least in the most visible sports in the last few years. It's been a lot of fun. I'm a huge sports fan, and it's also those events have given me extra chances to mingle with our students, and that's a principal joy of this job. So yeah, I think we do it in the right way here. High standards of conduct, real academics, and our athletic program pays for itself. I've always felt those were the three things we had to do, and after that, we want to win everywhere and every night, and that's happening more often now.
Well, before I let you go, Mr. Daniels, and I appreciate you taking some time, spent the last 10 years in higher education. Now you're leaving. So what is your takeaway on the state of college education here in Indiana and across the country today?
Indiana's very blessed. We have, I'll say, above our weight in great universities, public and private. 2 Big Ten universities that complement each other very well. Our good friends at IU do some things that are great in their area. We're the STEM powerhouse that, as I said, I think is such a prized element or asset in today's world. But then there are all the great private schools we have. The issue in Indiana is not on the supply side. It's whether we can persuade more of our young men and women to come to college, make it more possible for them to do so, more affordable and attractive in other ways, and then keep them here after they graduate. So those are challenges, but we have the assets to do it. We have great schools of all kinds, and what I'm hoping is that our public school systems will improve so that more students are ready for college and then make that choice.
Well, Mr. Daniels, congratulations on your retirement from Purdue. If you have any news to break, politically speaking, I hope you come back on with us soon.
You'll be the first to know. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.